Now, I did say that there is a Football Association president who finds himself in hot water, and it is the president of the South African Football Association. He was arrested but released on bail as he's been linked with corruption and fraud. 2010, magical year for South African Football Association.
Yeah.
Fast forward 4 years later, then there come accusations that money's gone missing.
You know, if you look at the story, I mean, when I first heard of this, I heard about it a few years ago, but it literally just vanished. We thought it's all over, you know, so there's been a lot of people that have come forward and spoken. In 2014, in fact, that's when the whole case was handed over to the police. Somebody, as a whistleblower within SAFA, came and said, there's problems, and these are the documents that goes with it. So what was mind-boggling for me is that it took 10 years for the cops to eventually make inroads to start making arrests and start really getting people onto the on a stand in a way. But you know, we are here now. April this year, they went to SAFA House and confiscated a whole lot of devices and stuff to be able to go through. Until they were sure that they've got a case, they handed over the case now to the Hawks, and the Hawks now therefore proceeded. So that is why on Wednesday, that was when the three accused alleged accused actually went into and appeared in court and therefore got himself 20,000 rand bail to be able to leave. It is the president of SAFA, Danny Jordaan. You also talk about one of the other member that is there, that is Hroni Hluyo, that is the chief financial officer for SAFA, Trevor Nithling. He comes in and his company also benefited from the deal there to the tune, the whole thing is a tune of 1.3 million as we speak at the moment. So they're out on bail, they will return to the court on the 5th of December. But at the moment, what the police are not ruling out is that there could be more people, you know, being included into this case, as this is still an ongoing case as we speak at the moment. So we could find more names being introduced into the whole saga. And on the 5th of December, they'll come in and appear in court again. And next year, we could actually have more names coming in. Before we even get to the 5th, could have more names coming in. That is worrying for me, where I'm sitting.
It is very worrying because I look at the South African Football Association and I look at all the stakeholders, the players, the broadcasters, everyone that is linked to the South African Football Association. What does it do to those relationships?
Very tricky, you know, because then, you know, when you start having trust issues around that, start now thinking...
Transparency.
Start thinking about the money. But then also the honors go to the executive of SAFA, because they have the powers within themselves to be able to sit down and say, you are the moment tainted, so maybe just step aside a bit and you can come back at a certain stage. Once you've cleared your name, do they have what it takes? Because there's been stories that have actually had before. Do they have what it takes to actually be able to do that? And is the case strong enough? The police believe they have a strong enough case to be able to do that at the moment. What is the way forward? That is the big question at the moment.
Interesting that you say that. In the statement, it was actually said that the court did say that everyone else had to hand in their passports except for the president. Now, if he's to travel out of the country, because they say that he needs to travel out a lot because of work, he then needs to report. Now that the executive does have the power to say to him, just step aside, let's clean up the mess, and then we'll see if we bring you back in. That then tells me accountability, also based on the executive members.
But also what's very interesting is that you saw how many of them were at court. He came out and they were all, you know, hugging and then talking to him as well. So he's got support within the executive. As to how much support he has, because
but with things like this, it's also like, why do you have their support?
But also remember one thing: he's an elected member. Of the executive.
And it's been a continuous thing, right?
It's been a continuous thing. So hence I'm saying what I also saw at the moment. I saw some trends on social media of some political parties calling for certain things to be done.
That's tricky.
That for me is very tricky, because once you get political interference into sport, that will actually be now going into the step of FIFA's range.
And Zimbabwe would know very well as to what that does.
That's what you need to try and avoid and try and move away from stuff like that. So that's what I'm saying. At the moment, it is still there. 5th of December, we'll literally hear when it goes again.
Tricky.
It's going to be very tricky.
Oh, it's tricky. You know what they say? Where they smoke, they certainly should be or has been fire.
I tell you, I think you love the spice.
Well, we move along. As we know that the Betway Premiership obviously is well in full swing, we know that we have a new elected committee. It's very interesting as there are new people who have been included. A name that I was surprised to see is Team Sugazi, a man who I believe deserves to be there. He's been very vocal with how he runs his club, fighting for what he believes is right. So having him there for me, just puts a smile on my face.
I mean, John Committees is out. Robert Bernardi is out. David Tidiela as well. Those that are out. You see some new faces coming in. But the chairman of Orlando Pirates returns unopposed once again to lead the league.
That time there were rumors saying that he's retiring.
Yeah, no, the nice thing is to see Sfiso Biela, Polokwane City, Johnny Mokhaladi, and Tim Sugazi are part of the new executive. So some new young sort of executives coming into the fray as far as the PSL is concerned. I'm looking forward to see what they will be able to contribute going forward in that department.
Let's talk about the awards, the individual awards that came out for the month.
Yeah.
Right? I was interested to see that Ikram Reyners was not there.
Listen, it's interesting why he's not there, because his teammate from Sundown, Ribeiro, has done very well. Remember,
100%.
Ikram Reyners started his season playing for Stellenbosch before moving across to Sundowns.
Yes.
So he might have actually gotten there and done well at Sundowns level. But prior to that, he was not part of the Sundowns team, and he struggled a bit to eventually start.
Consistency.
Consistency, one. Number
Got
two
you.
is that he started scoring goals in a CAF Champions League before actually can contribute purely in the league itself. But the winner of that award for Player of the Month is going to be, Lucas Ribeiro Costa.
Yeah.
He's done very well for Sundowns. 6 goals contribution in that particular bracket of September, October. Well done to him. Deserved to be a winner there. Also, I mean, he's been a foreign thing because Riviero on the other side for Orlando Pirates walked out with the coach of the month. Very tight competition, but I tell you, it was always never going to be a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I mean, Pirates have done well. He has 100% record as far as the league is concerned. 7 matches, 7 wins for his team in that particular bracket. So deservedly so to be the winner. But I was also chuffed to see the goal of the month. You always expect it to go to the most fancied.
Yes.
But it went to Fawaz Basadine. The strike of his from his own half to actually win the game on the day.
Reminds me of Shompakekana days.
I still remember
that gives you a pushka.
Mo Diouf actually scored a similar goal. That is Mo Diouf was playing for SuperSport against Sundowns. Similar range. He was a defender as well. Went on to win the goal of the season. Is that one for Fawaz Basadine going to be one of those as well?
I mean, Shompakekana looked at that one and was like, that's why I played for this club. They've learned exactly from the best. Make sure that you go nowhere. When we come back, we travel all the way to Morocco because it's all about the Women's Champions League. Let me tell you, AS FAR caused an upset. I thought TP Mazembe had that one in the bag.